Eggs. We all love eggs. They're a wonderful source of protein and they're useful to us in so many ways. But this is the season where we begin to speak of Easter eggs, those beautifully decorated festive eggs that we usually prepare on the Saturday before Easter, and then we hide, we use as decorations, and we eat on Easter Day. But just as this boy is stealing an apple from this woman's tray, many people say that Christians stole the Easter egg tradition from the pagans. They cite pagan festivals of new life in the spring, and they point to the eggs as symbolizing rebirth and new life, which are also Easter themes. And so it's natural for one to say, well, maybe the Christians just stole that from the pagans. But I would say probably not. I think the simplest explanation is probably the most correct explanation. And the simplest explanation is this: the discussion of eggs really begins during Lent. In the earliest Lenten traditions, the fasts were quite severe. They were important, they were serious, and they lasted the entirety of Lent. And one of the foods that one could not eat during Lent happened to be eggs. So, the discussion of Easter eggs really begins during Lent, when eggs were not on the table. So you can imagine on Easter morning, when the fasting time was over, the eggs would have been a wonderful treat. If you see old European traditions of Easter morning, you'll see great and long tables of food all set up with butter molds shaped like lambs, cakes, tiered cakes, all kinds of meats, all kinds of things that were missing during the Lenten fast are there on the table to eat. And I think it makes sense that eggs would have been part of that tradition. And what we see in Eastern Europe is that the eggs were decorated. They were made to look festive for that important event. And the eggs that you see here are red because in the Orthodox tradition, the eggs were dyed red to symbolize the blood of Christ. So I don't know that we stole anything from the pagans. I think this is really just a practical matter. Everybody likes eggs. They missed the eggs, and they're excited to have them again on Easter morning. The simplest explanation is usually the most correct.